Okay, round two, and this is a very good hand. At least Blood-Soaked Champ seems good in this game. So I did pass 2 Arc Lightnings, which makes me wonder if I want to... If he plays a Morph guy here, I have the option to just drop my Morph because my Debilitating Injury is still going to kill it. But the issue I'm having a problem with is if he has Arc Lightning, it's pretty brutal. Although if he has Arc Lightning and kills Paddle Priest, I guess I'd rather him kill the War Behemoth. He's still 2 turns from presumably being able to unmorph this unless it's a Canyon Lurkers, which is possible. But my reasoning... I think we just play it safe. Let's just injure it. Actually, let's see if he trades first, which seems unlikely, but possible. Alright, so I guess now we injure it. Basically, I'm just trying to play around the double value of Arc Lightning. I think if he wasn't in red, I would have played a War Behemoth into that, but because he's in red and I passed multiple Arc Lightnings, I think it's wiser to just take care of the threat and move in. Alright, at least 4 color. There's our green source. So I guess what I'm going to do is, even though I could drop Battle Priest here, I think I'm just going to drop the War Behemoth. I did play around Arc Lightning a little bit, but otherwise I have to wait another turn before I can morph plus leave up feet. So I think I'm just going to morph this, let him Arc Lightning. It's not the worst of the Arc Lightnings because even though it is a 2-for-1, I can get this back with my Battle Priest ideally at some point. So I think there's a pretty high percentage he has Arc Lightning. I passed 2 of them. He seems like a deck that would want it. Alright, Bear's Companion. Not that big of a deal. I think we just chill here. Go for the unmorph. Or throttle. Or feet, I guess. Next turn I can play Battle Priest and keep it protected with feet, so that's not bad. If he tries a Savage Punch here, I get to throttle in response, so that's actually kind of good. Although, yeah, no, it's alright. If it's just Awaken the Bear, I think we're fine. If it's the +6/+6, I'll accept that trade. If it's just Awaken the Bear that he was banking on there. No, it looks like it's Become Immense, which is fine. I'll accept that trade. Become Immense is a pretty good trick for him, so it's not a huge deal. Alright. I guess we drop Battle Priest now and leave up Feat of Resistance. And I think it's very likely he attacks with both. So I'll block the bear and I'll Feat of Resistance. And hope he doesn't have, I don't know, Bring Low maybe? Alright, take 2. Alright, well, kind of got to kill that guy. Not a ton of options there. But I guess the upside is I get to throttle plus Outlast. Yeah, the reason to Outlast here is if I leave it back, it reeks way too much of Feat of Resistance. I would much prefer him not know about Feat of Resistance. If he has the knowledge of Feat of Resistance, he can play around it. And the reason that it's just too much of a telegraph. There's really, like, what does leaving back Battle Priest and not using Outlast there is like, it's just too much of a telegraph. I mean, this makes us very vulnerable to a Savage Punch, but I'm just going to have to accept it. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't wait on the throttle, but it's mostly because he's got prowess, so if I waited on the throttle and he had like an Awaken the Bear there, it would be absolutely insane. He'd have a 7-power trampling double striker. I think in retrospect, I probably should have just main decked Despise. I thought there was some justification for Bloodsoaked Champ as like a good beater early, but our deck's just too mid-rangey. I kind of just morphed our deck a little bit too late into the draft, so I should have been more focused on that aspect, the disruption aspect of our deck. Alright, that's actually a pretty good draw. So we've got 8 mana, which means I could hardcast Guide plus leave up Feat of Resistance. I think I swing with Battle Priest here. If he blocks with Bear, I'll play the Feat. Guess I should have swung with Bloodsoaked Champ too. That would have made more sense. This seems like it would have been a good opportunity for it. Alright, I can tolerate that. We're going to hardcast our Guide here. The reason I'm not morphing it is if I draw something like a Rite of the Serpent, I want to be able to immediately cast it and swing in for a lot of lifelinking damage. Um, oh, that's weird. So it's another Awaken the Bear. Hmm. Uh, hmm. That's just weird. Well, he wouldn't have attacked if he didn't have anything. Guess I'd take it. I've got so much removal, it makes more sense to take it here. It was probably a Freedy Weapon Master. That's probably what it is. This is probably in a free Weapon Master. That would make the most sense. Because I was thinking, why would he do that? But I think this isn't a free Weapon Master. And he still has the mana to unmorph it. So that makes sense. All right, that's a good draw. So now we can kill the Efreet Weapon Master. I don't get a token. But then I can... Yeah, I think we kill this. I'm fairly confident it's a Freedy Weapon Master. That makes this attack make a lot more sense. No, it was a Sagu Archer. All right, well then he has another Awaken the Bear, so I think I'm just gonna Outlast and then pass. Unfortunately, I kind of have to start blocking here, so I guess I'm blocking now the Warname Aspirant, which is going to let him... Could also be a Dragon Grip, I guess, but I can't really afford to be taking all the damage, and if he does have a trick, I'd rather him use it offensively than defensively, so I'm just going to block here. Like I said, if he has the trick, which I can't imagine he doesn't have a trick, but if he does have the trick, which he must, I'd much rather him use it on the offense, because then at least I can crack back with Battle Priest, and he doesn't really have a great block without his trick. Is it another Become Immense? Wow. It's a bit surprising. Yeah, I think this is fine for us. So now I can crack back with Battle Priest and Bloodsoaked Champ, I guess, for that matter. And he likely just wants to double block our ooh, well, let's take that opportunity away from him. So let's get rid of the bear now. And then we get in for some good lifelink. All right, well, he's only got, oh, let's take care of this guy then. Mystic, all right. So I guess he can double block our Battle Priest now. So I'm going to actually just attack with the Champ and then Outlast one more time here. I just don't want him to be able to kill our Battle Priest. You know, it's a bit greedy because Blue's got like Force Away and stuff like that, but Water Whirl. But I'm okay with it. I'd rather preserve my Battle Priest if possible. Alright, so beat the Teamer deck. He's got some very good cards. Dragon Style Twins is very good. He's got a Weapon Master. Multiple Become Immense, right? He's got 2 of them, which is really good. Especially since we've got kind of a lack of instant speed removal to stop that plan. I still want the Despise rather than the Blood-Soaked Champ, even though he did some damage for us at the end there. I'd still rather have the Despise. His quality of creatures are much better than Blood-Soaked Champ's damage. Makes it, doesn't make it worth it. The Blood-Soaked Champ, I don't think. Debilitating Injury seems just fine. He had multiple morph. I think everything else is okay. Maybe I don't want the Take-Up Arms, actually. Cut the Take-Up Arms, and then I can actually leave in the Blood-Soaked Champ. I'm probably okay with that. Take-Up Arms just all around isn't that great in our deck, unfortunately. Could also do a Dutiful Return, but that seems less good in this match. Everything else seems fine, I think. Let's try this again. Alright, no white source, but I still think I'm going to keep this hand. We're on the draw. It seems okay. I mean, if we get a white source, it seems really good, but if we don't get a white source and we get any land, at least we can morph some stuff. Well, it was a decent draw. Keeps me busy early. Blood-Soaked Champ's an interesting dude, since he can always swing in and he can bring himself back, which is kind of cool. That's why it makes sense he can't block. Alright, well, I guess land on our next turn is pretty important. Alright, just in the nick of time. Not quite the land I'm looking for, but I will take a land. So let's get, kind of want to get the Watcher of the Roost down. It allows me to be a bit more aggressive, and I can still unmorph it pretty easily. Could also block his morph with my morph, which seems really good. Yeah, I'm going to block his morph. I don't know what morphs for 4 besides Canyon Lurkers, and getting rid of his more important morph at the cost of one of my guys doesn't seem like a big deal. I'll show him the War Behemoth. Could have Awakened the Bear, I guess, but whatever. I have to get through his tricks anyway. Alright, that's definitely a good trade for me. Although he doesn't have a blue source yet, but still. I still think that was a better trade for me. Alright, well, we showed him the War Behemoth, but I'm going to drop the guide here. Make him think it's a War Behemoth. Guess I could have dropped a War Behemoth to offer the trade with the War Name Aspirant, but I guess I'm not too worried about a War Name Aspirant. Icespire Mantis is quite good. Alright, let's despise our opponent because I'm not really doing anything else. Alright, let's get rid of the good creature. And just a couple lands left in his hand. Alright. Guess we're staying back. We are just a white source away from getting Siege Rhino down, which is quite a power swing. Or life swing, rather. Debating making the trade now for the War Name Aspirant, but Mostly because I have another Abzan Guide, I have a Siege Rhino. Although, I guess if I take 5 here, I get to crack back for 4, which means he'd be winning the race. But if I get a white source, dropping the Siege Rhino is going to be a big deal. So I think I just take 5. See if he has a follow-up creature. We saw 2 lands in his hand, so he is on top decks for creatures. Alright, he didn't get a creature because he didn't have that land in his hand before. So now white source, and there you go. Alright, so now we're in pretty good shape. We get to swing with both of these bad boys, drop a Siege Rhino, and have a lot of pressure on the board. Now any land and we get to flip our Abzan Guide, which is pretty nice for us too. I should have been paying attention to what lands I saw in his hand. Mountain, plains. Alright, so he did play a plains. Concession. Alright, well, unnecessary early concession, but I will accept and take the victory. So we'll see you in round 3.